Today we are making a video on Ubuntu Kylin 23.04 beta edition. I already made all videos on Ubuntu flavors. You can go check it out in my previous video or the day before video or yesterday video. You can watch it there. Here is the boot menu of Ubuntu Kylin. This is to boot in a live mode. This is for safe graphics, and this is for OEM install for manufacturers, and this is to test memory. Let's quickly go and launch it in a live mode. In order to boot in a live mode, you need to click on try or install Ubuntu Kylin. So let's click enter. It's going to take a maximum of minute or a minimum of 20 to 30 seconds to load up the desktop. So let's wait for a few seconds, and I'm going to say the time that took in loading the desktop. And here is our welcome screen. It took more than a minute and 30 seconds. Let's choose our language. Here we have two options. This is to boot in a live mode, and this is to install it right here. Install Ubuntu Kylin. In my opinion, it's better always try Ubuntu Kylin or try the live mode before installing, because you need to find any bugs. If you encounter any bugs, so it's better to switch. Here you can't switch it because you already installed it. You should face the problems. It's always better to go with the live mode first, then try to install it later. So try Ubuntu Kylin. And I forgot to mention that I am running it on a virtual machine, which is VMware. It's a beta edition, so it's always to best try in a virtual machine, because the development version or the beta version has always will be having a lot of bugs. So instead of ruining your PC, it's better to go with virtualization or dummy PC, you can call it, like not a work or a main PC. You can try it on a useless computer or a I'm trying to say that it's not an important PC. If it's not an important PC, you can put it in that. Don't put it in a work PC or a main PC. I think you got the point of what I'm trying to explain. So this is a live mode, and I forgot to say that I have a 40 GB of hard disk with 4 GB of RAM and 2 processors in my virtual machine or a VMware. Let's try to boot in a live mode. Try Ubuntu Kylin. After you are satisfied, you can install it. Not this version, I'm saying the stable version. Even after the release of a stable version, it's better to wait for like 10 to 15 days, because if they had bugs in the stable version, you can install or you can have an update of 0.1 release, like a point release. You can download that point release and install. This is the sound of the Ubuntu Kylin of loading the desktop. It's not from my PC, it's from the desktop. That's way loud. I don't know why they added the sound to load up. Instead of using the silent sound, they tore the sound, tore my ears. Let's first change the display resolution, because we have like a black bars here beside. Let's go to settings, or you can go or type in just display in the search bar, like here. In personal, I don't like this Linux distro because it's way laggy. Always I had a lot of bugs. I faced a lot of bugs while using this distro. Let's first check here is to change the display resolution, or you can just type in display here. For example, let me type in here display. It's not available, I guess. It's better to go with the settings and change it display like I showed that before. Like here there should be a setting here, or you can just click it settings here and this will pop up. Display, go to display on systems, display, and change your resolution. Let's check the version 3.0.5.1.2. let's check the about PC. Here is our about distro, and let's close this thing. Let's launch a system monitor, because you need to know the resources consumed before launching any apps. Let's try to find the system monitor. We can't find it. Let's go to, I don't know where is system monitor. Here is a system monitor. Let's first check the about Linux distro, which is Ubuntu Kylin 23.04 beta version, and the kernel is 6.2.0, and the desktop environment is MAT 1.26.0, MAT or mate, whatever you can call it. Here are the processors. Let's check the version before 1.2.26.0. Here are all the processors running right now. Let's see the resources. Let's change the color so you can look the graph properly. It's already 1.3 GB of 4 GB. It's not a lightweight. You can try it, but it's not a lightweight in my opinion, because it's already 1.3 GB after launching like a few apps, like 2 to 3 apps, and it's going to be like a 2 GB, something nearly to 2 GB, because I tested every Ubuntu flavor of a beta edition of 23.04. The same thing happened, almost 2 GB. They went up to 2 GB. The lesser was Ubuntu and Ubuntu. They're the best in my opinion if you're choosing in a Ubuntu flavor. So here is the graph of CPU and the RAM. CPU has going up to nearly 25%, 30%, under 30% as you can say, and we have a high peak here, and the other is going normal. Let's check the file system. These are the file system. Let's close it, and we already have the bugs. The 3 flavors of Ubuntu which I already got bugs just when launched are the Ubuntu Kylin, and I guess Ubuntu Studio, and other one was I guess Ubuntu Budgie. I guess the 3 flavors, and I hate them both 3. It's my opinion, it's up to you. If you like it, if you don't, it's up to you, no problem, but I hate it. We don't want to send it. Let's close it. Let me show you the terminal. It should be mate terminal. Let's scroll down. Here is our mat or mate terminal. Mat terminal, mate means this other word. Let's type in inxi-sv8 and hit enter. inxi is not installed. Let's copy this thing and try to install it. Click on paste and hit enter. It's going to take a few seconds and ask to click on Y or N, which is yes or no. We need Y because we need yes to install. It's going to take up to like a maximum of 10 seconds, and we will be having our inxi installed. Here we have our inxi installed. Let's type in the command again, inxi-sv8, and we have the full info of the distro. Ubuntu Kylin host, a kernel is 6.2.0-18, which is 64-bit available, and the light DM version is 1.30.0, UKWM version is 1.1.4, Ubuntu Kylin 23.04 Lunar Lobster, a distro is called, and I'm running it on a virtual machine which is VMware. Here you can see, and the RAM is 4 GB and used is 1.35 GB, which is around 35.3%. And Here are our display resolutions, and this is my monitors or screen resolution. OpenGL version is 4.1, Mesa is 23.0.1. What we still left here, let's type in another command. Here is the INXI version and systemd version is 252. Wake up 61, uptime is 10 minutes. Processors are 275. Bash version is 5.2.15 or 1.5, you can call it as. INXI is the command I want to type. INXI small b. Let's type in another command, which is INXI dash capital G. Here are some info. If you want to read it, you can read it. VMWGFX 2.20.0, FinoX version will be 6.0. Xorg version is 1.21.1.7, display X11, and my hard disk of virtual machine is 40 GB. Let's type in cat:/etc/issue and hit enter. It's a Ubuntu Lunar Lobster because Ubuntu Kylin is a flavor of Ubuntu. Let's try to type in htop if it's allowable. Htop is not installed, so let's install by copying this sudo apt install htop, or you can type it in the command in the terminal, which is sudo apt install htop, and hit enter. It's going to take off a maximum of 12 seconds and you will be having a htop installed. Htop, type in htop. Here is our htop, and the memory is around 705 MB of 3.82 GB. It's going crazy already. 800 MB, tasks are 98. Let's close this thing, and let me show you how to download the Ubuntu Kylin from the internet browser. Our internet browser should be like a Firefox, because Ubuntu flavors all have the same web browser almost. I launched the Firefox browser. It may take a few seconds, like a maximum of 20 seconds, and it opened instantly, no problem. It took just like a 7-8 seconds. Let's check the version. We should be 111 because I made all flavors have the same version. Let's close it in. Let's type in Ubuntu Kylin 23.04 beta. This is the search term you need to enter or use in searching the Lunar Lobster ISO file. Here is the first link, and this is a daily build. If you want to use a daily build to test, you can test it. Again, I'm warning you, it's a beta version. It's better to test it in a virtual machine because it have a lot of bugs. It may ruin your PC. I don't want you to ruin your PC. It's better to wait. If you're a normal user, it's better to stay out of it. If you're a person who want to test it, you can go with it in a virtual machine, no problem. Here is our first link. Let's go to the first link. Here is the URL. If you want to type it in, it's better to type it in Google with a search engine instead of this lengthy URL. If you want, you can do it, no problem. If you're curious, here is our ISO file, and you will get it in a torrent file. I downloaded it in a torrent because the HTTP URL or I can't download it with a download manager. They gave me a torrent link, and we also got a torrent link of Ubuntu Studio yesterday. We downloaded through torrent. Here is the file. The file size is around 4.8 GB or 5 GB. Exactly, it was like a 4.8 GB. Well, I think it was a 6 GB, I guess. Yes, it was a 6 GB file, Ubuntu Kylin. I forgot because I make 2 videos in a day, and I downloaded 2 files, which was I think I am making another video, so I post 2 videos. So this is the torrent link. Let's close it. Let's try to install it. I'm going to show you the installation process right now. It may take like a couple of seconds, like 20 seconds of maximum. Here is our installer opened. First you need to choose your language. Again, it's the same thing in every Ubuntu flavor or every Linux distro. You need to choose your language. I'm choosing English. There are a lot of language, you can choose it whatever you want. Click on next. There should be a keyboard layout next. Here is a keyboard layout. It automatically throw you to a Chinese language, or it will put you into a Chinese language. We don't need a Chinese language. We need an English language. Because it's a Chinese based Linux distro. Don't be a racist. I'm not a racist. I'm saying it's automatically, even if you choose in English, it is going to put you to Chinese. So I am pissed for that. I tried to install it a lot of times, so that's the anger for that. Here is our English language. Click on continue, and here we have a normal installation and minimal installation. In normal installation you get a web browser, utilities, office software, games and media players. And this is for the minimal installation. We get only web browser and basic activities. After downloading a 6 GB of file size, it's better to go always a normal installation, because just for web browser and basic utilities there are a lot of lightweight Linux distros. You don't need to download this distro and go with a minimal installation. It's better to go with a normal installation. And other options are this like download updates while installing Ubuntu Kylin. It may save time because it's going to download the latest updates and put it or install it with the installation process. And this is to install third-party software for graphics and hardware and additional media formats. It's better to check both of these things, because you don't need to have some issues after the installation. It's better to choose or click or check this button. In my opinion, it's up to you. If you want to install it later, it's up to you, no problem. Click on continue. It's going to take a few seconds because Ubuntu is preparing the drivers. It may take up to like a minute maximum or minute and a half. Yesterday we saw in the Ubuntu studio it took a minute and a half minutes, which is almost like a minute and 30 seconds, or you can call it as 90 seconds almost. It's going to load. So instead of waiting, let me show you what are the apps comes pre-installed here. Here are all the apps which comes pre-installed. As you can see here, these are all the apps. You download a 6 GB of file and you have just these apps, not a maximum of important apps or main apps. I think we have already prepared the Ubuntu Flavor server. Here is the next step, installation type. Erase disk and install Ubuntu Kylin or something else. You need to have an idea of what you're doing here, and you need to be careful what you're doing here. It's not a serious thing, but it's an important thing to understand. Erase disk and install Ubuntu Kylin means it's going to erase everything of your hard disk or SSD, and it tries to install in a single boot. And something else is meaning you can change the partition or resize the partition and install it as a dual boot or do anything you want. So it's better to be careful and read everything and try to choose this option. And you need to have an idea what you're doing here. And this is the advanced feature. If you want to encrypt, you can encrypt all these things. And you need to click on install now, and it's going to give you a username and password. You need to type it in your username and password. You can give any username. It's not important to give your original name. You can put it in anything you want, and it may take like a maximum of 20 minutes or minimum of 10 to 5 minutes. It depends on your PC or the ISO file which is good. If it's good without a bugs, it's going to complete soon. If there are bugs though, so it's going to destroy sometimes. We don't know anything about these distros, so it's going to take a few seconds. It's going to say it's finished, and you need to click on finish, and you need to reboot your system, and you will be having your Ubuntu Kylin installed in your hard disk. That's the process of installation. I don't want to install it, so that was the process or the formality of installation. So let's see what we still left here. I think let's go to the category. On the internet side we have a Firefox web browser, Remina, Thunderbird Mail. On the video side we have a burner, cheese, rhythm box and a video player. On the image side we have a document scanner, library draw, library office draw, you can call it Shortwell. And on the game side you have 3 games and Sudoku. On the office side, Atrial document viewer, LibreOffice. LibreOffice is always found in a Linux distro because it's an open source. And LibreOffice few apps, you can call it Math Calculator and Pluma. On the system side we have a lot of apps from Bluetooth Manager, Disk and till up to System Monitor, Terminal, Software Center. This is the worst software center, I should say. I'm sorry, but I don't like it. If you like it, no problem, I respect that. Let me show you why I'm saying this is the worst software manager. It takes and it always asks to update. No problem, let's try to update it. These are some features. Instead of waiting for this, let's go with it. And here is our calendar or time. This is the language, keyboard Chinese. These are the notification center, plugin, and here is a clipboard which I copied from past or from the beginning of the video. Here is our network connection which is not working, no problem. This is our volume and that's the sound of the system. Go into a full mode. Let's try to go in full mode. Here are few options and I think this is an update, show updates. We don't know anything of what is going on here because I don't know the Chinese language. Let's try to blindly go through. I think this is an installed, it's not an installed, this is a, I don't know, something like that. We need to change the language. It's better to install, or you can choose the language. If you have, you can change the language, you can change the language. Let's try to change the language if it's available. I don't know about the options here. Let's try to put it in select keyboard layout. Let's go with English. Where is an English language here? English US, I think. We found English UK. Let's go with it. Let's click on OK. I think we need to get logged out, I guess. Here we can see English. Let's try to see all these things. These are the apps. I think they changed the few things. First it was like a worst software manager or a software center, you can call it. The past versions were the worst. That's the reason I said missing environment, unable to install API. This is Android thing, I guess. I think these are the upgrades or updates. Let's check the version and can't see the version. It's okay. These are all the installed one. What we still left here, let's try to see what are the new wallpapers we get here. Set background, I choose set background. These are all the wallpapers you get. If you ask me to install this, in my opinion it's better to go with an famous Linux distros. Other Linux distros you have like Linux Mint, Zorin OS, there are a lot of Linux distros. Instead of choosing this, in my opinion it's not a good experience. The UI looks kind of weird to me. It's my opinion, it's up to you. If you like it, go with it. In my opinion, it's not good. Ubuntu Studio is good for the people who is working in music, all these things. It's not for me. And also we have like Ubuntu Budgie, that's also not for me. The 3D Ubuntu flavors I don't, and I really hate it. It was a bad experience always. These are few options: touchscreen, default app, power, auto boot. Let's go through all these things very fast. A mouse, keyboard, again same things. You can customize it on your own. Let's try to change the wallpaper. There are few wallpapers, not the best, but it's okay. Let's try to change the cursor. Can we change the cursor? It's not even loading. Is there anything like apply or something? There's nothing. It should automatically change when we choose this, but it never works. No problem. Maybe I am doing wrong, I don't know. Does it even work in a dark mode? It doesn't. Even if you choose in a dark mode, it takes ages to load. It's taking ages. Let's wait. And we have a bug, I guess, or a lag. You can choose the dark or a default or a light or a dark theme, but you can't change the cursor. I'm trying to choose the other cursors, but no luck, no problem. These are few options. On the network side, we have a VPN connect or a proxy, and this is an account. You can choose your account if you want. This is a date and time, and this is an area where you. Let's first choose the English language. Here is an update. You need to reboot just for a language. Reboot it later. I'm running it on a live mode. I can't reboot that. These are the few options. Let's check the version. Again, same version. Let's close this thing. Let's open few apps and check the version. This is the file manager. Can we see the version of the file manager? We can. The version is 3.2.2. Let's close. About the panel or Ubuntu Kylin. Again, it takes ages. These are the activities. Activity bar or activities, whatever you want to call, you can call it. These are all the apps. Let's check the version quickly, because some people need to know the versions you get on the beta version. Again, Thunderbird takes a few seconds or a few time because it's a heavyweight. Let's check the version about the Thunderbird. Thunderbird version is 102.9.0, which is same in every Ubuntu flavor. So it will be same in this version too, and it is same in this version. Let's open the main apps like LibreOffice, which is important for people who work with the documents, all these things. Let me open just the important apps, not every app, because it's a waste of time to open all the apps, and it's not even worth. About LibreOffice 7.5.2.1, the same version in every Linux distro. Let's scroll it down. Here we have a calculator, Atrial Document Viewer. Let's check the version of Atrial Document Viewer, 1.2.6.0, because it's a made desktop environment app, which is Mac desktop environment. I think we covered everything, I guess. We open the Software Center, gparted. We don't need gparted. That's all the apps you need to know. Let's open the. Do we have a VLC Media Player installed here? Let's type it in VLC Media Player if it's available. That's weird because VLC Media Player will be found in every Linux distro, but you don't get it in here. No problem. Let's see the system monitor and check how much resources are consumed. Here is our system monitor. Let's see how much resources are consumed here. Processes are running like this, you can see here, and the resources are 1.6 GB. which is not maximum, but it consumed 300 MB. It's still good, but we didn't open much of apps, just we opened 2 apps or 3 apps. If you open the lot of apps, it's going to up to 2 GB of maximum. I think that's it. Let me go to my channel and show you the important info. This is the only step for this step is only for the people who want to watch my content without subscribing. This is not for the people who are already subscribed. You can skip it, or you can also watch, no problem. Firefox is going to take a few seconds. The first time Firefox opened pretty much fast, and the second time it's going to take a few seconds. We have our web browser opened. This is the URL, youtube.com/9to5linux. This is to go to my channel. You can type it in your web browser. If you are using a YouTube app in your TV, mobile or a tab, just type it in 9to5linux. If you are using a browser, just type it in this URL completely, youtube.com//9to5linux. This part is only for the people who want to watch my content without subscribing. So click on click on enter. Don't need to feel bad, because it's up to you if you want to subscribe or not. It's up to you. I have no problem. You're watching my content, that's all I want, and the content helped you, that's all I want. I don't want you to subscribe or not, it's up to you. And here is a playlist. If you are here only for the Linux content, you can just go to playlist and Linux playlist, view full playlist. After going to view full playlist, here is the options you get, shuffle or play all. I made around like 1536 videos of various Linux distros. I covered various Linux distros, or a lot of Linux distros, almost like 70 to 80%. I covered every different types of Linux distros there. Let's go back, and you can go to community. I'll give you the latest news here, and here is the about. I'll post 2 videos daily without missing any day. This is the important thing, because I make 2 videos without missing any day. I'm making videos for like 3 years without a gap. I just took like 1 or 2 days in 2 years. That's it. This is the timings. You need to visit these timings. If you are a person who is not subscribed, these are the timings. You can watch my content at these timings, and if you want, you can subscribe. If you don't want, it's up to you. Nothing, no problem. I think that's it for the video. I think I covered everything, I guess. So let's end this video. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.